Okay, I'm gonna do another little story time thing. I tried to do it a little bit ago, and then I realized I was spending, I think I was a little over 8 minutes on babbling about my third grade experience. Yes, because that's what you really want to hear about. But this is still, I want to get into the experience in third grade. And I managed to talk about nothing related to the topic. Great. So, third grade, the way our school was laid out was we had a math teacher, and they had different tracks, and they never admitted which track was which, but we all figured it out. We felt great for it. That's actually important to notice that, so don't worry, I'm not going to sidetrack. And we had our homeroom, and really outside of that, we didn't interact. And there was 5 classes, so we had 2 teachers out of 5. Each teacher, was did their own thing, and they had their own tracks, and we actually all fell basically on the same subjects, of course, but had their own style, things like that. And little kids are much like adults, and we mostly complain. So you'd have different friends from different teachers, and you'd hear nothing but horror stories. So when we would do events or things like that, you'd always be a little more nervous of the teachers you didn't know, because you mostly unfairly heard horror stories of these people. And it's that age where you're still very leery of adults and things like that, and you think you're kind of growing up, and you're not, because you're in third grade. Well, at least I felt that way. And the rest of us did too. So at least everybody I was friends with. But so going to different teachers' rooms or having events for the whole grade and everything was kind of always a little scary, because it was just more unfamiliarity as well. And we had a program where we went over our area's Native Americans, and it was a great program. It was excellent. I really look back fondly to what we did and learned, and also it did help us kind of get over us being so terrified of these teachers we've never had. Each teacher had a subject that they focused on, and this story is about when we had our teacher that was focused on the belief systems, their religion, and the such. In third grade, we're not breaking down deity, thought, and et cetera, et cetera. But it was a really gross day. It was one of those days where it was just foggy and miserable, and like some sort of just. I really can't come up with a very portrait-esque explanation of a gross day. And you know how sometimes you just know that rain's coming. It's a coming. She did just such a wonderful experience for us, because we're talking about religion and spirituality and stuff like that on a third grade level. We're at the point where you kind of know stuff is a little different and things like that, and you kind of think you're a lot more educated on things than you know. Like, obviously, you look at it and you think, like, I can't believe the Greeks thought that the sun was pulled by a chariot. Those fools. You think you're really clever because of that. But at the same time, you haven't really, like, set your own things. So we went outside, and we're like, okay, so why are you taking us outside of the classroom to talk about religion? Like, what are we doing here? We know they liked Sky God and whatever. And then she explained to us, in this culture, you would always ask the creator for things when you needed something. And farming was something that our tribe did. Or I shouldn't say our local tribe did. So she was showing us a very impromptu and made-up rain dance. And you can tell that the rain started coming down as we're going through this exercise. And it was just a wonderful experience, because we were at the point where we kind of knew that it was going to rain. It's been gray all day, and it felt like it was going to rain all day. But we were able to all suspend our disbelief and just go with it. We had such a wonderful time, and as you can see, this memory of 20-something years is stuck with me so positively. So, just an example of an excellent educator, and just really something to be. I'm very fond of someone who can go out and help and educate that many people, because you figure that was just my class that got to do it. the timing was perfect. Everything worked, and we were very lucky for that. And we've all went our different ways because we all grew up and everything, but we all got that together, and it was just so cool. And even then, you have your social cliques and everything. Everybody just rolled with it. We were so happy. And at the end of it, since we were so good, we caused the rain. She had maple candies, and the local tribe, because much like every place in Northern America, there's a lot of maple trees. They used the maple sap. Most people really found the taste to be off-putting, and I happen to really like it. So it's another thing where everyone dropped their social cliques, and Matt or Max had a pile of candy, which is the last thing my homeroom teacher wanted to see, that I was going to be all sugared up. So there's my video.